Welcome for today's webinar, where we'll see together how you can cut your taxes while saving for your home. Let me introduce myself very quickly. My name is Patrick Malje. I'm co-founder of taxx.lu. All along of the webinar, on the left side of your screen, you can see a QR code that you can scan with your phone, and you will access an online agenda where you can book a free call with our tax optimization experts, so we can have a look together how you could save on taxes in your personal situation. We had already three webinars in this series of webinars. The first one about tax optimization more in general, the second one about private pension plans, the third one about life insurance and private healthcare, and this one for today is about the home savings plan. All those webinars are still available on our website, taxx.lu, in the category webinars. So let's start very quickly with some information about tax optimization and how does it work. Basically, on the Luxembourg tax return, you have to declare all your income, and there are different deductions that you can claim. And at the end, the final result will be your taxable income, and it's basically this income that will be taxed here in Luxembourg. How much tax you have to pay? The system is quite easy. The higher your taxable income, the more tax you have to pay. And the opposite is true as well. The lower your taxable income, the lower the taxes you need to pay. So basically, when we are talking about tax optimization here, the goal is to increase deductions. So at the end, your taxable income will shrink down, and this will also make you save on taxes. How much tax could you save? Few examples. For example, if you are a single with a gross monthly salary of around 6K, then you are at a marginal tax rate of around 42%. If you have a gross monthly salary of 12K, then you are saving around 44%. What does this mean? Basically, this means that the deduction of 1,000 euros on your tax return will provide you a tax gain of 440 euros. So basically, the tax savings always depend on your income and on your family situation. So best is to schedule a call with our experts so we can have a look together what are the options and how much tax you could save in your personal situation. What deductions are possible? So basically, that was the topic of the first webinar that you can still watch on taxx.lu, where we had an overview about all those deductions very quickly. There are different categories. First one is called special expenses. There you can find interests on personal loans, insurance premiums that you're paying, in contributions into private pension plans, into home savings plans. So that's the topic for today. Donations. Then another category is called allowances. There you can find, for example, childcare or domestic help, extraordinary expenses, and for your main residence, you can also deduct mortgage interests. And for the year of acquisition, you can also deduct some notary and bank fees related to the opening of your mortgage. So today we will have a look at the home savings plan. What's a home savings plan? Basically, you could compare it to a fixed term savings account. So it's kind of a savings account where you can put money in. The money will be blocked for 10 years normally. We'll see this in a minute. And because it's like a bank account, it's totally risk-free because in Luxembourg, up to 100,000 euros of bank accounts are guaranteed by the Luxembourg state. So even if the bank would get bankrupt, this guarantee would pay you back all the money you have on those accounts. What are the goals of a home savings plan? First goal, of course, it's to enjoy tax benefits, and that's why in Luxembourg, a lot of Luxembourgers are having those contracts. Another goal is basically to build up capital to finance your home. We will see in a minute what this is about. And home savings plan in Luxembourg gives you also the possibility at the end of this home savings plan to get a mortgage with a favorable interest rate. But that's not the topic for today. Today, we are more looking into the tax benefits and also the idea of building capital to finance your home. What deductions are possible? As for any deduction on the Luxembourg tax return, there are maximum deductible limits. This maximum deductible limit here for home savings plans is 672 euros per household member, so kids included. If you and or your spouse is younger than 41 years, then this deductible cap will be doubled. Few examples: if you are single 30 years old, then you can deduct 1,344 euros and save around 560 euros in taxes. If you are a couple 30 years old without children, you can deduct a maximum of 2,688 and save around 1,120 euros in taxes. And if you're a couple, one 45, the other one 38 with 2 children, then you can even deduct up to 5,376 euros and save 2,240 euros in taxes. So it's important, if you want to get this double maximum deductible limit, the contract you have must be opened on the name of the youngest partner or on the name of both partners. So our last example, where one of the partners is 45 years old, if it's the partner with the age 45 having such a contract, the maximum deductible limit will not be doubled. So it has to be on the name of the youngest in the couple or a contract on both names. Both are possible. Just contact my team for more information. What are conditions of a home savings plan? There are a few. So normally the minimum duration for a home savings plan is 10 years. So the money will basically be blocked for 10 years. And what is also important is the use of the capital at maturity. So basically it has to be used for your main residency. So that's one important point. It has to be your main residency. It cannot be an apartment that you're buying in southern France, for example. And it can be used for a purchase, a building, so an apartment, a house, or the land you want to build something on. It could be used for construction of a house on the land. Could be used for renovations. If you're already a homeowner, there's always something to do in a house or in an apartment, so it could also be used for that. And you could also use it if there's no renovations to be done. You could use it to pay back on your mortgage, but it has to be related to your main residency. Home savings plan is basically a German thing. So the home savings plans provided in Luxembourg are based on the German regulations. So basically only Luxembourgish and German contracts are accepted on the Luxembourg tax return. French banks also providing what they call Plan Épargne Logement, PAL. So the name is the same, but the product is different. And that is why those contracts are not deductible in Luxembourg. So you have to open up one here in Luxembourg in order to get it deducted on your tax return. What happens if you are not compliant to those conditions? There are different use cases. So first one, let's say that you respect the minimum duration of 10 years, but at the end you're using this money for a car, for example. In that case, tax administration will forbid you for the rest of your life to deduct another home savings plan on your Luxembourg tax return. If you are not respecting the minimum duration, but you're using it for a main residency, then it could be that tax administration will ask you to pay back all the tax savings that you have gotten out of a home savings plan deduction over the last years. And if you're not respecting both penalties can occur. So basically no longer permitted to deduct home savings plan in the future, and tax administration could ask you to pay back all the tax savings that you have gotten over the last years. We have a few frequently asked questions that come from our users. So basically the first one, will the capital I receive at maturity be subject to tax? No. When you're getting the money out of this contract, it will be tax-free. So there will be no taxation on the capital that you have having gotten out of this contract. I am a cross-border worker. Can I subscribe to a home savings plan? Absolutely. Even if you're living behind the border in Germany, France, or Belgium, you can open up such a contract here in Luxembourg. As I mentioned already, French banks are also providing kind of home savings plans, but those are not accepted, so you have to open up one in Luxembourg. A similar question, can I use the capital received at maturity for my house in France and Belgium or Germany? Of course you can. The criteria is not the location or not the country where your main residency is, but it has to be your main residency. So if you're living in a house behind the Luxembourgish border, you can also use this capital, this money for this house. It has to be your main residency. Do I have to pay the maximum deductible amount? So we have seen the different maximum deductible limits. Of course, it's not mandatory to hit those maximum deductible limits. You could open such a contract and you are free to invest whatever you want into those contracts. So basically, you are deciding how much you want to invest. If during those 10 years, there's 1 year you need this money for other purposes and you don't invest anything, that's totally fine. Of course, in that case, you cannot deduct something if you're not investing during that tax year. From a tax perspective, investing more into a home savings plan than the maximum deductible limit makes no sense. So if you have more money that you want to invest and save on taxes, an alternative could be a private pension plan. So best would be to schedule a call with our tax optimization experts so we can have a look together. Does a home savings plan provide other benefits? Yes. Actually, you have to know that if you can prove that for 3 years in a row you invested at least 290 euros into a home savings plan, the Luxembourg state can give you a state guarantee for a part of your mortgage that you are opening with the Luxembourg bank. So basically, if you can prove that you had such a home savings plan, a share of your mortgage could be guaranteed by the Luxembourg state, and this could help you in your negotiations with the banks to get a mortgage. Is a home savings plan used to finance my home also tax deductible? So basically what you need to know is today we talked about the savings component of a home savings plan. Home savings banks are also providing mortgages, and both are linked basically. It's a little bit more technical, but if you are financing your home through a home savings bank, basically what happens is they will open you a savings contract. So that's what we just saw, and your contributions into that savings contract are tax deductible as we just saw it. On the other hand, they are preparing you a classical mortgage, and on a mortgage there are interests that you need to pay, and those interests are also tax deductible. So it could make sense to check if a mortgage given by a home savings bank could make sense. If you have questions or if you have a plan to buy real estate in Luxembourg, the easiest way to get more information about the financing this real estate is to contact our partner at Home Finance. They are the leading mortgage brokers here in Luxembourg. They are working with almost all the banks in the country, and they can have a look into your situation and help you to get a mortgage. Even if you don't have a plan yet to buy a real estate, it's always interesting to get in touch with them, and they can tell you based on your income situation, your family situation, they could tell you how much a bank in Luxembourg would probably give you as a mortgage, and this could help you to find the home of your dreams. How do I take out the savings plan? At taxx.lu, we are partnering with Wüstenrot. In Luxembourg, we have 2 home savings banks. It's Wüstenrot and BHW. We are partnering with Wüstenrot. We can prepare those contracts. Best is to book a free call with our experts by scanning this QR code so we can have a look and prepare everything for you. We talked about deductions. Very short speech about the tax return itself. So you can file it on taxx.lu. The website is online since 2018 and helps everyone to file their tax return in Luxembourg in the most easy way. You are guided step by step through online forms. There will be some automatic import that is possible based on your tax certificates. At the end of the process, you can download your official tax form and submit it to tax administration. And you will also have an overview about your tax optimization options that you have in order to lower your taxes. So don't hesitate to use our platform to file your tax return. If you have questions during the process of completing your tax return, you can always contact my team through there's on the bottom right, there's a chat. They're my team of humans, not bots, will answer your questions. You can also send an email to help@taxx.lu. If you have questions regarding tax optimization, home savings plans, private pension, insurances, all those possible deductions on the tax return, I recommend to book a free call. It's a phone call. It takes you around 15 minutes. And during this call, my team will check your current tax situation. We will analyze together your tax optimization options. We will check how much tax you could save. And we can also help you to subscribe to products that make sense in your personal situation. That's it for the webinar of today. Don't hesitate to watch the other ones on replay on our website. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact my team. Thanks a lot and see you soon.